My name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, and so let's jump into the next topic. Welcome to the stream. Welcome back to another video. And this next topic we're going to talk about is what to expect from the Tesla earnings call. The earnings call is coming up pretty soon. It's coming up on January 25th. I mean, we don't know exactly what time. Well, actually, no, we do know what time. It's going to be around 2:30 Pacific time. So we're going to talk about what to expect, but we're also going to talk about it in a lens of what we talk about on the channel, right? So Tesla buying, Tesla pricing, what's the production numbers going to be like. So we're going to talk about like probably the 3 or 4 things to expect from the earnings call. And we found this link that people can submit their questions. And of course we can vote on the top one, and we'll see what people are more than likely looking to answer and ask, or get answered and asked. But before we get into that, if you're new to the stream, if you're new to the channel, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best thing on a Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. So let's take a look at this. This is a shoot. Does that work? Sorry about that. Little hiccup there. Okay, let's see. Let me remove that. Tapia, I just saw you join in. Welcome. So this is a formal question submittal system that Tesla has. They do this actually every single time before any earnings call, because they want to collect questions from their investors or other banks out there, or even just the retail people as well. And so people can actually submit a question, and then it'll get upvoted, basically just like Reddit, in the same sort of way. And the highest upvoted ones most likely get asked during the call. And so let's go through this and see if there's anything interesting in here. So Tesla Q4 2022 earnings Q&A. But my top things, before we get into that, my top three things are, the first one is, why did they discount in December? What was the reasoning behind that? I mean, we probably already know. Why did they discount January 12th so deeply? We probably already know the reasoning for that as well. I also want to know, is there any future discounts planned? Like with production ramping up, is Elon still a volume over profit margin type of strategy? What does he think on that? What does he think of even the current prices as it sits right now? Does he still think it's still too high? And probably my last question I really want to know about is this whole Tesla financing question. Is Tesla financing going to get into the game to finance their own vehicles through their own lending arm or whatever? Are they going to be able to offer competitive rates on their own vehicles? They already have Tesla insurance. Like, why not bring it in-house and have Tesla financing as well? I mean, mostly all the other OEMs, all the other manufacturers have some sort of program. I'm talking like Mercedes-Benz Financial, BMW Financial, all the other luxury banks and car companies out there. So why not Tesla as well? So let's take a look at this. Let me know what you agree. What are you expecting from the Tesla earnings call? Or what do you want your answers be asked? But let's take a look at the top one right here. This is probably sorted by most shared, but actually let's go by top voted. It's probably the same thing, right? Okay, so quote, anonymous retail investor asks, quote, after recent price cuts, analysts release expectations that Tesla automotive gross margin, including leases, regulatory credits, will drop below 20%, an average selling price across 47,000 across all models. Where do you see average selling price and gross margin after the price cuts? So that's a pretty interesting question, because there was a article or some data released from Reuters yesterday that Tesla has like anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 in net profit, gross profit margin sold per vehicle. So, I mean, now that price cuts have gone down anywhere from $3,000 to $13,000 to $20,000, how does that affect their margins? Because that's a good question. And also it's a good question to see, because if they still have $5,000, $10,000 in margin left, the average that we saw yesterday, like anywhere from $2,000, $3,000 on across other manufacturers, Toyota, GM, and all that stuff, Tesla could still go back down, still go to those levels, and still be kind of right in line with everybody else. So that's a pretty interesting question. I do like that one. So here's the second question. Of course, jumping straight into it. Quote, is Cybertruck production still on track for mid-year? I think there was latest they were saying that it was going to be anywhere from mid-year to the end of the year, but that would be crazy if they were able to release some more information that they are on track for like mid-year, June, July, summer, because that would be the summer of the Cybertruck. That would be pretty cool as well. So this one seems to be like a solar question. This one seems to be like Twitter question. Don't really care about that. We just want to care about, is there any news about vehicle sales and vehicle pricing? So here's another one. Elon has said previously that FSD hardware 4 will most likely come first in the Cybertruck. Is that the current plan, or do you expect to be an upgrade path from hardware 3 to hardware 4? Okay, that's a pretty interesting one, because now, there is this, a thing that hardware 4 is on the horizon. So if they could give us some more insight on that, that would be pretty nice as well. But I really stopped caring about like the hardware stuff, because there's always going to be a better one, a new one. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, here's another one. When will Tesla announce production Cybertruck specs and pricing? And that's an interesting one, because it's been widely thought, because Tesla since removed the Cybertruck pricing from the website, that, the prices are going to be a little bit higher to be in line with the competition, right? Rivian is an 80, 90K truck at this point. So it would probably come in right around there, if not a little bit more. So let's see if there's anything else regarding pricing. But yeah, some definitely interesting stuff. Let me know what you think. I want to know, of course, like how Tesla is going to, address the price discounts over the last quarter or last few months, and is there going to be more pricing discounts coming in the future? Here's a good one. When will Master Plan Part 3 be revealed? And that might be revealed on Investor Day, right? We have this new platform that might be coming out that Tesla might talk about, and people are speculating it's going to be the Model 2 or the Model Q or whatever, like a $25,000 model Tesla vehicle. So that would be a pretty interesting thing if that actually comes out as well. But they're going to really talk about that in their Investor Day, not exactly their earnings call at that point. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff coming out of the gate. I mean, we are 5 days away now at this point. It's going to be January 25th at 2:30 in the afternoon. What is that? What date is that? That's like next Wednesday. So I probably will not be able to listen live, but you definitely will know I will make a video, or I'll try to make a video that evening talking about what my thoughts on it, and ingesting what Elon in the sales executive or executive team talks about the future of this next month, the next quarters, March. I'm surprised no one has asked a question about like the IRS and stuff like that. Let's see if we can do a search, because that's a huge thing, right? About the IRS tax credit, and how the vehicles will be affected by that. And let's see, here we go. Here's one with only 6 votes. So not really huge. What is your, no, actually, no, that's regarding Powerwall and solar and stuff like that. So I guess okay. So we're 5 votes. Which Tesla models will qualify for the full tax credit after March? But at the same time, like Tesla might know or have some sort of, guess, but the IRS and Treasury could change all of that as well. So they might only be able to speculate. Here's another one. Why doesn't Tesla partner with banks who can offer the IRA tax credit as lease incentive? This will help increase demand from customers who are otherwise not eligible due to income cap. That's a good point. I totally forgot about it. The only reason why other manufacturers like Audi are allowed to pass that $7,500 tax credit on a lease is because Audi Financial is writing that lease for that Audi lease vehicle. But Tesla doesn't necessarily finance vehicles, or we saw some screenshots that some people actually was able to get Tesla's financing LLC on their vehicle. So Tesla, in order to lease and get that tax credit, they would actually need to finance their own vehicles for leasing. And so that's probably why. That's more indication why Tesla probably will get into financing or at least leasing in the next year, because they will need to be able to in order to pass that $7,500 tax credit to the customer. So yeah, it doesn't seem like much. I mean, it's probably the same question, but I mean, that would be interesting if that is asked to Elon and the team, like which vehicles will qualify. But I feel like that's an easy answer for them. They say, we're only subject to IRS and Treasury guidelines, and they're going to release guidelines sometime in March, and we just just don't know what, or we have we have a slight inclination or indication of what they might do, but we of course cannot say 100% for sure. So that's what to expect from the earnings call. Definitely check out this website if you're interested. I'll post it in the chat, and also I'll try and post it in the comments, to see what's like the top voted questions. This, of course, is going to change over the next few days because we are 5 days away from the next earnings call. But it's gonna be interesting because like how much profit do they make and how much earnings do they make, because that will also give us some visibility on if they can do some price reductions as well in the next future 6 months to a year. But we'll jump into some of the questions and some of the comments. But before we get into that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, but some of them actually include scheduling a call with me where you can ask me any questions one-on-one about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or financing a Tesla. And after you schedule the call, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price, and including financing, in which there's a financing credit union on my list that has rates as low as 3% for 60 months. So definitely check out the Patreon if you're interested. And as an added benefit, I respond to all direct messages or DMs to my Patreon members that send me a message to the Patreon. So definitely check out if you're interested. But let's jump into some of the comments. I don't know. Tapia, I don't know if I can handle another price decrease. It might come. Maybe not Model Y. Model Y long range, it seems to have hit that threshold because it just sells at this point, right? Under 55K. Like everybody recognizes